Well, they say time flies when you're having fun, and it certainly does, because I am celebrating 2 years on BookTube. So I can't believe we're already in the first week of February in 2025, which basically means that I've been on BookTube for just over 2 years, because I started my BookTube channel on the 30th of January 2023. When I first started my channel, I also started a very short and sweet series about starting a BookTube channel. My experience, because I literally was someone who had no experience whatsoever recording videos, loading them to YouTube, and just really exploring how I would go about that. And I think over the last 2 years I've definitely grown in confidence in front of the camera, but also have become much more proficient at recording and editing my videos as well. Obviously I've still got a lot to learn, but what I wanted to do today was just do a kind of a chatty video, checking in with you where I'm up to, my journey so far, and reflecting back over the last year, and also look forward to my plans for the year ahead. As always, I wanted to start with some sort of stats, and in preparation for this video I actually went back and watched last year's video, which was my 1 year anniversary on BookTube, and at that point in time I not only gave some stats, but I answered some questions as well, so it was kind of a anniversary on BookTube tag video. So like I say, what I did was I watched that video and took some notes from that video, and I'm going to give you some stats to see how I compare 1 year on, and then just talk about some of the things I talked about in that video, my thoughts about them now, and like I say, what I want to do in the future. So as you're watching this video, we're in the first week of February, and this will be my 159th video that I've uploaded. I actually upload every Monday and every other Thursday, so 3 books every fortnight, and I've been doing that consistently without missing a single upload for the last 2 years. So in terms of some of the other stats for my channel, this time last year I had 590 subscribers, and so I had hoped that I'd continue to grow at a similar rate and therefore would have reached 1,000 subscribers by now. However, I'm currently sitting at 906 subscribers, so definitely have grown slower this year than I did in my first year, but obviously I'm still a very small channel, so every subscriber really does count. And what I've noticed over the last year is that I'll have weeks that will go by without drawing any new subscribers, and then I'll have a bit of a flurry where I'll have 5 or 6 people subscribe to my channel, and then what tends to happen is 1 or 2 people unsubscribe. So the numbers do very much fluctuate, and the highest subscriber count I've had today is 908 subscribers. So in the last couple of weeks I've lost 2, so back down to 906, and it kind of fluctuates around that sort of figure. So as you're watching this, it could be a little bit more, it could be a little bit less, or it could have stayed the same, but overall I am continuing to grow little by little, and I do have really high hopes that I will hit that 1,000 subscriber mark at some point this year. Another stat that I always look at is how many views I'm getting, and this time last year I'd had 24,500 views over the last year, and in the last year I've had 26,000 views, just over 26,000 views. So from a growth perspective, although I haven't doubled my subscribers, I have actually increased the number of views I've been getting on my videos by a further 1,500, so that is a good sign. And in terms of watch hours over the last year, I've had 3.8 thousand watch hours, which is up over 1,000 watch hours compared to the year before. So that's also really encouraging. So while my subscriber count is growing at a slower rate than it did in year 1, definitely the number of people watching my videos and the amount of hours they're spending watching their videos has increased as well. So like I say, both really good signs from a growth perspective. Another thing I really like to look at is where my audience comes from. So who are the people that are watching the channel? And very much like last year, the majority of my viewers are based in the United States of America. So hello, thank you so much for watching my channel, I really do appreciate it. And then my next largest audience is actually from the UK at 2.4% of all my viewers. So you can see, like I said, that almost half of the people that watch my channel are from the United States of America. And then after that there are multiple other countries around the world, but at much smaller percentages. So I do want to take the time to say thank you so much for watching. If you've watched any of my videos, if you're watching watching me right now, thank you so much. I really appreciate everyone who takes the time to tune in. Also, anyone who has liked a video, left a comment on my video, recommended a book to me, subscribed to the channel. I absolutely appreciate every single one of you, and I am so grateful that I'm not sitting here talking completely to myself. I'm really open to feedback as well, so let me know what you like about the channel, things that you think I could improve, and if you want to see any specific types of videos, then let me know as well. So one of the questions I answered last year was a question about what I'm proud of that I've achieved with my channel over the last year. And I think my answer last year is the same as my answer this year, and that is the fact that I've stuck with it and I've consistently uploaded against a schedule that I planned out for myself. And I have talked about this before, but obviously I have to read the books in order to be able to review them. I have to prepare videos, take time to record them, take time to edit them, and then there's a lot of administration that goes behind it. Uploading to YouTube takes time, and putting in your descriptions, creating thumbnails, then creating posts for Instagram, responding to comments and feedback. And in order to keep on track, I obviously have a schedule. So I have a calendar for the year and I map out all of the videos. I kind of know what I'm going to be recording in advance. I try and plan that out because it then allows me to plan my recording schedule around other things that may be going on. So I know consistently that I need to create 3 videos a fortnight, and I kind of plan my calendar ahead. So I have some standard content that can be recorded in advance, and so I can kind of batch record videos. In fact, that's what I'm doing today. I'm going to be recording 3 videos that I'll edit and then release over the next couple of weeks, but also content that is kind of timely, right? So my monthly wrap-ups have to be recorded pretty much consistently at the end of each month, so I have to find time at the end of each month to record my wrap-up videos, get those edited and put up. But things like my Mafia Romance Monday video, while it is still a staple in my schedule, it goes up every second Monday of the month. I can actually pre-record those a couple of months in advance if I need to, and get them up and schedule them to go live when I need them to go live in the calendar. So having that schedule has really worked for me, and like I say, it means that then I can plan. So if I'm going away for the weekend, or I know I've got some social engagements that's going to take up a lot of time, I can plan ahead, record ahead, and have some videos banked and scheduled to go live when I need them to go live. So another question that I answered last year was around anything that hasn't worked very well, things that I'm going to stop doing, or things that I'm going to do more of. And my answer back then was that my channel was too new really for me to have a really good judgment around that. Obviously my subscribers and also my views are still relatively low. So if a video does well compared to another video, there actually aren't that many views between them, and therefore it's really hard to say kind of what is working and what isn't. But what I have noticed obviously is that some of the mafia and darker content tends to be well liked and well viewed, and when I've done the occasional vlog or kind of deep dive into certain books, they've had less views. But that's okay, and I'm absolutely fine with that because they're not the type of videos that appeal to everyone, and also I don't really record them very often, so they are few and far between. But I like to mix up the content and try different things, and I think with vlogging in particular, I don't think vlogs particularly do well until you really get to know a person and then have a little bit more interest in their life to see what they're kind of doing day to day, or kind of get kind of a running commentary on their kind of thought processes and things like that. So I will continue to do vlogs and pepper those in here and there, and we'll see where they go in the future. But in terms of the most popular videos, like I say, those still definitely remain the sort of dark romance recommendation videos that I do, and anything really taboo. So to this date, the original dark romance recommendation video that I did back in April of 2023 is still my most watched video. This time last year I'd had just shy of 8,000 views, and now it's over 10,000 views on that video. So even after the big popularity in year 1, people have still continued to kind of watch that video, and the view count on that keeps going up. And that is closely followed by an age gap video that I did back in June 2023 that had 2,400 views this time last year, and it's now got 2,800 views. So it's had 400 more views in the last year as well, and so that viewer count is still going up. So what am I going to change for this year then? Well, I kind of talked about this a little bit at the end of last year, but really I'm not going to change too much. Obviously I know there's always room for improvement, and I do need to kind of improve my skill level, particularly around editing the videos to make them a little bit more interesting, a little bit more professional. But overall I'm happy with the progress that I'm making, and I'm also happy with the schedule that I've got as well. So I will continue to just do 3 videos every 2 weeks, because I think that that is a happy balance. I think if I increased it to 4 and did 2 videos a week, that would just be a little bit too much and unrealistic. And like I say, one of the things I'm proud of is that I've managed to stick this out right and not missed an upload, and I want to continue to be able to say that. And I think if I moved to 2 videos a week, I would just put myself under too much pressure, and then I would start to get stressed about it and potentially miss deadlines. And in terms of the content that I'm doing, I'm going to pretty much continue to do what I love, because I really don't kind of follow any particular trends. I don't try and keep up with new kind of trending authors or up and coming releases, except for the ones that I really want to read. For me, reading romances and creating videos is still an absolute passion of mine. I'm really enjoying doing it, and therefore I want to just continue to read the books that I love and not be swayed by kind of what is in fashion and what other people are expecting me to read. So I'm very much just doing my own thing. I don't have an account on TikTok, I don't look at threads, so I'm pretty much just on YouTube and Instagram. And while I do follow some booktubers that I really like, I don't get too embroiled in the gossip, so don't tend to be too aware about what's going on, what's in trend, what's not in trend, where the kind of dramas are in the romance community. I just kind of keep my head down, doing what I love, watching the booktubers that I love, just kind of you know, reading the books that I love, reviewing the books and being honest about my thoughts about them. And that's what I'm going to continue doing this year, because I just want to carry on really enjoying what I'm doing. And I very much believe, you know, that if I'm enjoying myself, if I'm talking about the books that I love, then that will shine through and you will be able to see that as well, and hopefully really enjoy the videos and get some good recommendations from them. One of the revelations I've had though is around where my heart really lies in terms of reading. So I really do enjoy mafia romances the most. They're the types of books that I like to read. I always think they're fun and action-packed, and I really kind of like the obsessive, very jealous, very kind of over-the-top heroes, which you kind of get in mafia romances, and it's kind of perfectly acceptable for them to live in those kind of fantasy worlds, right? So they are absolutely where my passion is. And really, when I started my Mafia Romance Monday videos, that's really what I wanted to be known for, is kind of the expert, if you like, around mafia romances. Of course, I read quite a lot of other genres as well. I like to read all kinds of romances, and I do think it's important to continue to read a mix. I think if you read too many dark romances, it becomes quite wearing, or you kind of get fed up of reading similar types of stories. So it's nice to pepper in other types of romances. So I will continue to do that, but this year I really want to kind of double down on the number of mafia romances I'm reading. I want to read more new to me authors, because I know there's loads of amazing authors out there that I haven't read yet that have got some great mafia series, and there's also some classic mafia romances that I haven't got to yet that people talk about all the time as the original sort of OG mafia romances, and I really kind of want to get to those and make sure I read those as well. So I think this year you'll see many more mafia romances on my list than ever before. Like I say, I will continue to read a wide range of romances as well. So if you have any mafia romances to recommend to me, then I would love to hear from you. Well, I have read quite a few at this stage. There's still hundreds of authors, hundreds of books out there that I haven't even touched on yet, and some which I've probably never even heard about either. So please don't hesitate to recommend a favourite author or series, and I'll be sure to check those out. So the only other thing I wanted to mention before I kind of sign off on this video, and that is one of the big changes that I've made this year is the room in which I do my filming. So if you've watched a few of my videos in the past, then you will have noticed that my background has changed in the last couple of months. When I started my BookTube channel, I didn't really have very many physical books, because I always tended to read ebooks or Kindle Unlimited books. But once I started my BookTube channel, I started to become more interested in collecting books. I wanted to be able to hold some up to you in front of the camera, but also became much more interested in kind of limited edition books as well, and signed books from authors. And so slowly over the last 2 years I've really been building my book collection. Now in another room in the house we had some bookshelves that I shared with my husband and a variety of other things, and I just had a couple of shelves that I put books on behind me, and they very much started to fill up. I had piles of books to the side, and I really wanted a dedicated bookshelf just for me to start putting all of my books, but also with enough space for room to continue to kind of collect more. So I was able to convince my husband to convert our spare room into kind of my own personal space, where I've got bookshelves now that kind of go all around me. So it's kind of a corner shelf that goes around, and it also gave me enough space then to be able to set up my camera and my ring light, and so I've got a space, a proper space now for me to do my recording as well. I'll put in a picture of what the room looks like. It is a very small room. All I've got in here, like I say, is my bookshelves and a chair, and then I've just got enough space to set up my camera. But that is one of the big changes I made right at the end of last year, and I'm absolutely loving it so far. And so right now this is how my shelves look. I'll probably move them around over time as I get more books. And in fact, at the end of January I did share my latest book haul video, and so you'll see some of those books appearing on the shelves behind me in the next couple of weeks as I kind of rearrange a few things around as well. So that's all I wanted to really talk about today. I just wanted to do a video in acknowledgement of my kind of 2-year anniversary on BookTube, and I also wanted to take the opportunity to thank every single person who's watching this video, who's ever watched a video, like I said, who has ever liked or commented on a video, and especially all of those of you who have subscribed. I really do appreciate it. I hope you'll stick with me for another year, and all that's left for me to do is say thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye. So I was able to convince my husband for me to convert our spare room into kind of my own personal library area, into my own kind of personal but in terms of the most popular videos, oh god, my nose is really itchy, which is really weird because I think in the last one I did, my nose was really itchy as well.